All right, guys, good evening. Thank you for attending. And Ricky will be hosting, guys. I will be hosting for tonight, Ken. And so basically, I have some questions. When I asked in Discord, what topic would you guys like me to cover? And we got a few questions, right? I'm going to cover half of them today, and then half of them, hopefully, I will try my best to cover maybe this week or next week in a different session, right? Because I want to go over the things slowly so that it makes more sense. And please do let me know if you guys can hear me fine. And
You're good.
I'm good. All right. Thank you, guys. Okay, so first, one of the first questions that we had was reading the tape, right? Reading the tape. Now, I'm not really sure what you exactly, whoever asked this, I think Stonkson maybe or one of you guys, what exactly you guys meant when you guys asked reading the tape, right? But according to my understanding, it was probably options, right? I mean, options coming in and out. So it's very simple. There are two ways of doing it. This is my platform, which I use, which is Questrade. Okay, this is Questrade, which I use. Now, let's say, for example, today I'll go over Baba just because it had a lot of volume today, right? Now, first thing that we can start, right, is the lot of volume, which is right here that came in. I think other than 24th of December in 2020, right? Today was the second highest ever in its life, as much as I know, I think. Yeah, today was the second highest, I believe. Okay, so which is a big thing for a stock. 88 million shares were traded today, and overall, the price was up. Okay, now let's look at one thing here. What happened to options when the stock price moved up from 152.80 to 161? So number one, reading the table, the volume has been increasing. It was selling, but today the buyers defended and brought it back up. This could very possibly be the bottom on Baba. I could be wrong. Baba can be 140 tomorrow. I have no idea. Okay, but right now, based on the volume, and so this is the number one thing, buyers defended, okay, on increasing volume where it was bearish, and then all of a sudden they brought the price back up. Now, so let's look at Baba here. I'm going to go in calls alone just so you guys can see here. Okay, and let's look at the 5-minute chart. Now, in the 5-minute chart, in the morning, there was obviously bearish action, right? In the morning, there was a bearish action right here. And guys, just confirm that my screen is clear, resolution's fine. You guys understand what I'm saying?
So all good, Ricky.
Awesome. T, is that you with T? Just confirming. Okay, awesome. So Baba right here at 152. Number one, first thing that I want to see, let's go in options right now. So here I'm going to go on option. So let's look at the time around here. It's around 10:20 a.m. in the morning. So around from 10 a.m. till 11:20 a.m., Baba started holding these prices. Now let's look at what happened with the options. Okay. So Baba was at 152.80. Let's look at 155 options. Maybe 150. Oh, perfect. So right now the option that opened up was 162.50. Okay. So strike 162.50 open. Now, because Baba has been making huge moves lately, so today's option started from right here. Okay, right here where my cursor is. Baba dipped in the morning. Okay, so I'm just going to pull up two charts. I'm going to pull up an option chart and stock chart so you guys can see something here. Let me pull up another chart. So I'll open up Baba chart here, 5-minute. Okay, so on one side I have the options chart. On one side I have my stock underneath. Now let's look at something here. Right here, right in the morning at 10 a.m., right around these prices right here. Okay, this is options. This is the stock. When Baba started defending prices here, look at all the option volume that came in here. This was over 2,000 contracts traded. Now 2,000 contracts means at $2, that's a lot of money. That's I think almost 2,000 contracts at $2. That's almost $500,000, I think, or more or less if you just do the calculations. Okay, so that's number one, that it shows if somebody is putting $500,000 here, maybe they know something, or they have a big count there where they believe something. Okay, just like they bought options at support, there will be people here in the options that might also defend the stock price. Okay, so that was number one, and from there the stock, the option prices stayed sideways. They did not go down, and then eventually they ended at 562. So their options doubled throughout the day, right? So if we looked at the options volume, let's look at a different strike, maybe 155. What happened at 155? So at 155 also, there was volume throughout the day, right? So volume started coming right here. Oh, thanks. Slowly started picking up. And Baba is going to have a lot of volume this week because, everyone thinks China may bounce. People will be trying catching the falling knife, whatever it may be. And all this volume started picking up. So these are sometimes it gives us hints. But you know what? A lot of people are buying options here. Maybe they know something. Maybe it's big guys. Maybe the stock's going to reverse. If people are buying more option contracts, that also means people will be buying the stock as well, right? Because people trade equity also, not just options alone. So that's one way of reading it. Then let's go on 160 strike, maybe see if we have volume here, nothing. And then look at the volume surge right here at 3:30 p.m., right? At 3:30 p.m., look at this volume surge that came in. Over 9,000 contracts at $4. Over 9,000 contracts at $4. So let's look at the monetary volume of how much money that is. Well, let me just calculate this quickly. So 9,000 times, just a rough idea, around $5. That's over $4.5 million in this week's 160 calls. Somebody has put in over $4 million this week in 160 calls. They definitely know something. What happened right after? Their 4 million turned into over 6 million within half an hour. Am I making sense here, guys? Right? So within half an hour, their over $4.5 million turned into over 6 million. Right? Look at all this volume that came in. So sometimes you can just open up strikes on your platform and start reading them like this. And you can do this for all the stocks. Okay. Does that answer the question whoever asked? I mean, or if somebody can just answer, it makes sense. Right. Let's look at a different stock. Maybe what else ran today? Amazon ran today, right? It ran all day, right? Let's see what Amazon did in the morning. So I'll open up options on the top. Right. So Amazon was trading at so look right here. This is a 32.75 call this week, right? And this is a stock right here. And at 10:20 a.m. So 10:20 a.m. right here, somebody loaded over 700 or 1,000 contracts. 1,000 contracts near $20. Okay, which is $2,000 per contract. Again, in millions, right? And from here, what happened? That 20 turned into 32. Okay, a little dip, obviously. And then Amazon at 10:10, which is right here. Right, which is right here. After that, it never looked back. It kept going up. Make sense? Right? So this is one way of reading the tape, reading options volume when we look at it. Okay. Now finding new plays. Finding new plays, guys. Somebody asked, how do you find new plays? You gotta create your watch list. I mean, for example, I have my watch list right here. So let me click on my watch list. How do I move this? Any way of moving this now? Give me 1 second. There we go. So I got my watch list right here. Right. So I'll click on personal, my market view right here. Right. So this is my watch list, which I have some of the tickers that I follow, and you guys can have your own also. Right. And then I usually have the highest green at the top, monetarily wise, not percentage. Percentage is all different. You can have however you want to adjust it. But for me, I look at my daily charts. Whatever has, if I'm usually we all play stocks to the upside. We play puts less. I mean, because you focus on one direction, right? So I play calls most of the time. So that's the reason I have the top strong stocks at the top. And then I just look at all the tickers and see the setups that come up. So for me, I have Amazon right here. So I'll probably pull up Amazon on my different chart. I like using TradingView sometimes. It's more, I like it better than my own brokers chart. So Amazon right here, for example, if I'm looking at it at the top of my watch list, the green line is a 200 MA, 200 moving average. So here I'm looking at certain things. Number one, it came all the way from this to the moving average. Then it's part of what sector? The tech Qs. And Qs are super strong. Okay, a nice little bullish run. Holding above 370, I think we continue going up towards 380, even 400. So the sector is strong. And then I go back to Amazon, right? And now I want to look here. This is a place where it can trade sideways for weeks, right? This 3280 resistance. However, tomorrow, now some of the indicators I want to look at, I got my MACD right here. Okay, I got my MACD, which is about to reset, right? At the top, bottom right here, if you guys can see. It's usually at the bottom from here, it usually reverses, and this is actually at the lowest on a daily, okay? So my MACD is my first signal, which gives me, so that's number one. And then the RSI is starting to curl up, right? I got my RSI right here. It's trying to curl up, so it's showing me some strength. Okay. And then tomorrow, if it opens about 200 MA and it holds, there's also a gap fill all the way to 35.90. Okay, to 35.90. So I can, if it opens up above 200 MA tomorrow and it holds and it closes above 200 MA tomorrow, I'm not in a rush to jump in Amazon right now, right? I'm not in a rush. It's a trade that is set, right? There's resistance right here above 3,300. Tomorrow, if Amazon takes over and closes above 3,300, I will probably play spreads to the upside and I'll buy some time on my position. Okay, because when it makes a move above 200 MA, it runs a lot right here. Okay, it runs a lot. Okay, and then it can also feel like right here. All right, and so you want to play safe. Also, that's my first indication that that's how I would play Amazon. Let's see the second ticker that we have on our watch list. We have DKNG. This I don't play a lot. We have Google. So let's go on Google. Google looks great. We gave this in pre-market today, by the way, if you attended. We did give this in pre-market. Right, a lot of strength in this. RSI going back to overbought, and then it's at all-time highs right now. There's no reason to be bearish on this whatsoever. Maybe tomorrow it opens down 100. I have no idea. For me, if I was to play Google right here, now it made a nice move from 2684 to 2800. Okay. Now I'm not going to buy calls right away because tomorrow it can easily rest. The premium will be high. Then I will just lose money on time decay. However, to play this name now, I can probably buy the $2,800 calls. Right, I can probably buy, I'll do spreads on this maybe. So I'll probably buy the $2,800 calls and I will probably sell the 2810. And this right now is trading at 2,800. So this will cost me around $4, I believe, right now for the week to buy it, right, on Tuesday. And my max profits is up to 10. Now let's say worst case scenario. So my max profits is 10. Okay. Now my cost is $4 on this. Buy the $2,800 calls, sell the 2810. What's the benefit here? Number one benefit: if Google does not move the entire week, let's say 2,800 acts as a magnet. Even by Friday, even by Friday, my spreads will still be worth around $4. Why? Because $2,800 call will still hold a lot of value while 2810 may go down. Okay, and if Google closes above anywhere above 2804. I will keep profits on my spreads. If Google closes above 2810, for example, right, and I hold it till the last minute, I can easily exit for $9 and plus, make 100% move on my options right here. It's a safe play. Okay, so that's why I would play Google here. You know, just going over it. Another ticker that we can go over is PLTR. How would I play PLTR? Now, PLTR. Let's see. So let's analyze this chart quickly. Right, Black Swan event. This is something that we're gonna go over. Yeah, so they invested 50 million into gold and something to do with Black Swan event, right? I think he knows a lot more about that. Maybe he can go over it tomorrow in the market timings. Now PLTR has been holding very nice here. It's been sideways for many months. Gave a squeeze, increased the IV, increased the option prices, gave up all the gains. It's been defending this level right here. This I'm just trying to teach you guys or show you how I would analyze a chart so it makes more sense, right? It's been holding this rectangle boss. Here, there is no direction right here. Right here, there is really no direction. But what I want to see is the MACD was kind of opening up, but now it's a little silent here, not bullish, not bearish, just still opening up. RSI is strong, right? So that's a good indication. Relative strength is increasing, right? And now what I want to see here, if it can hold above this price right here, you guys see this resistance right here, right? So between 24 and 27, this is nothing but resistance. Okay, all this is resistance. Support, resistance, support, resistance. If we break lower, then obviously to the low side. If we break higher, to the higher side. Now we want to zoom into this chart on the daily basis. We want to zoom in, right? We zoom in right here. We look at the high right here where it's been getting rejected, which is the above $25.30. Okay. Now, if we can close above $25.30, so if we can close above $25.30, right? I may buy 3 to 4 weeks on my option because in it's been going sideways. The options will be priced fine, nothing wrong with them. So anything above 25.30, I can probably buy for a safety. I will probably buy. So let's look at this. So I would buy $26 or $27 calls right? If I buy 26, I may go 2 to 3 weeks out. If I buy the 27 calls, I may go 4 to 5 weeks out. Okay, now understand this very carefully. I may go 4 to 5 weeks out. If I buy the $28 calls, I may go 6 to 7 weeks out. The further strike that you buy out, because it needs a bigger move to make, you want to buy more time. The reason being is if PLTR does not move this week or 3-4 days, these calls, the further out of the money calls will lose more time decay, then you lose value on them faster. Okay, you lose value on them faster. So if you're going to go out of the money strike, you want to add more time so that your value stays in your contracts. Okay, and so on. And if I'm buying the 30 strike, for example, then I want to go at least 3 to 4 months out. Okay, at least 3 to 4 months out. Unless you know something about the stock and you think it's going to make a nice little squeeze, you want to take a little bit, fine, you can decrease the time, that's up to you. But know that you're likely to, that position is likely to go to zero if PLTR does not move in the same direction. Okay, so here I will probably play calls alone and we can make a lot of profit. Okay, so that's just my way of analyzing this chart. Right, so I hope that made a little sense. Then somebody asked how to validate a company fundamentally, numbers, to focus on values, undervalued. I'm going to do another session on this probably next week on Monday or Tuesday, and then we'll go over all the fundamentals. All right, not today, but next week, Monday or Tuesday. And then financial stats description when scanning for stocks. That also next week, I'll do an entire fundamental session. Right, for this, I'm going to have to make a PowerPoint slide. Divergence on RSI. Okay, that's something I can go over. Now let's look at divergence. So let's look at divergence. I will need to see some stocks. Let's look at what can we, Apple maybe. Okay, perfect. Okay, I got an example right here. Now this is a bearish RSI divergence. Now what exactly does that mean? So let me just remove my indicators right here so you guys can see clear. So RSI divergence is what we're going over right now, guys. Whoever asked this, just pay attention. Now I'm gonna go over bearish because this is bearish divergence, and I'll just show you guys what exactly that is. Bearish RSI. Okay. Yeah, bearish RSI divergence. Okay, so that's what we're going over right now. All right. Now, bearish divergence is when a stock makes a new high. Okay, it could be an all-time high or just a high on the chart time frame that we're looking at. Hey, good to see you speak. Welcome back, brother. Welcome back. Yeah. So RSI divergence. One of our guys, Shafiq, is back. So when a stock makes a high right here, so this high right here, and then followed by another high after a few days or a few weeks, whatever it may be. This is a daily chart, so a few weeks, right? Okay. So I need a line. This right here, but then the RSI goes from strong and then it goes lower. Now this right here is bearish on Apple. Okay, this right here, if you're playing RSI divergence, this is a bearish RSI divergence. Now in the coming days, if you're following this indicator, expect Apple to pull, expect Apple to come. If it does not take away this high, expect Apple to give up some gains all the way towards 142 and then maybe reset again. Okay. So bearish RSI divergence is when a stock makes a high over a few days, like so on 14th July, Apple made a new high, okay, like on a shorter time frame, 150. It tried breaking, it did not break, and then it made a new high on 16th August of right here, and it got rejected. So we got this little trend line going like this. Okay, resistance line, you can call it. And then the RSI went from strong and it gave up some gains. Okay, it got weaker. And this is a bearish RSI divergence. Bullish would be the complete opposite, right? A lot of tutorials on YouTube, a lot of studying material out there, which you guys can pay attention to, or buy the charting books, which teaches all these things. Okay. So now, so according to this indicator, if you're studying this, Apple is supposed to go down in the coming days. Okay. So this is a bearish RSI divergence, and bullish will be the complete opposite of this. Okay. And if you don't understand it, rewatch this session one more time. It will make more sense. Okay. Somebody is asking, so I'll take some filters to put on when scanning volume size of a company. Let me see if I can go over this as well later on. But for now, I got some questions in the chat, so let me try answering those. Now, somebody is asking when to use EMA, MA. Okay, so EMAs, Gurvinder, I use them all the time. For me, I use EMAs all the time, right? I use EMAs all the time. This is not something, so for example, if I'm using EMA, I'll just go over Apple, for example, right? Now this is my daily chart, which I use, and I'll make this a little bigger. Okay, just so that you guys can see. Okay. Now I'll just get rid of some moving averages. Okay, 8 and 21 EMA are very popular indicator, which is used widely by the market, is exponential moving average. Okay, is EMA exponential moving average, if you guys don't know. Okay, and okay, now I have a space open here, so I'll just go over space quickly. Some of the indicators I use. So if we look at the 8 and 21 EMA, I think space works very well along with it. Now, if we go back, so let's go on space. Now, if we go back historically, right? Every time space 8 and 21 EMA, so the blue is 8 EMA, the red is 21 EMA. When the 8 EMA crosses over the 21 EMA, is usually considered bullish. There are more prices coming in. So here you guys can see, as when it crossed, when the 8 EMA and 21 EMA crossed, it stayed above this. It just had a nice little squeeze. Every time it did that, it had a nice little squeeze. And then when the cross down happened, when you guys can see this curling down here, right, in EMAs, and then the 21 8 EMA crosses down to the 21 EMA, and then the 21 EMA comes on the top, then the 8 EMA becomes resistance. 8 and 21 EMA, I use it on the regular basis, to be honest. I use this regular basis on all the entries I take. Okay, if the stock is below 8 and 21 EMA, I likely will not play it. Unless I see a nice curl up happening, I may do a higher entry. If the level holds, I will put some indicators together. If they all work out, I will play it. Now here, for example, RSI was oversold. I'm just giving you guys an example. RSI was oversold here, right? And then we had the 8 and 21 EMA right here. And then we also had the catalyst, if you guys remember the news that were coming out, okay? And then we had the MACD, which was silent for many weeks. And then we had a nice little opening to the upside right here, right, which is bullish on MACD. And then stochastics, which I use also, were opening up. And these indicators, if you guys don't know, guys, please feel free to do some research on them. I really think you guys should be spending at least 1 hour at night trying to learn all these things, right? And then as soon as the cross happened, then the 8 EMA, it just kept riding. And even here, this is a nice little bull flag that happened, right? A nice bull flag, okay? A nice little bull flag, right? And as soon as it held the 8 EMA, and then as soon as it broke out, and then a nice little uptrend. And crossed down, and then it stayed below all this time. And here now it's getting rejected by the 8 EMA. Many times you guys will see stocks which are just getting rejected by the 8 EMA. One stock which I'm keeping an eye on right now is DKNG. So let's look over DKNG. I haven't looked at it today, but oh, perfect. Wow. Okay. So this is a very nice setup, just according to my indicators that I use. So let's analyze this chart. Okay. So 8 EMA, it crossed back right here. Okay. It crossed. And now it's in this zone, this resistance zone right here. If you guys historically, a zone between above 50, so above 50 and below 50, 3-ish or 2-ish, whatever you want to call it, there's a lot of resistance and support here. Means it's a gambler's bet to play DKNG right here, unless you have some news which are coming in. Okay, so this is number one is hope. But now the positive here has been holding these levels right here. Okay, now I want to see this cross this above 8 is trading above the 8 EMA, which is good. So that's number one indication. And then I've got my RSI, which is gaining strength. And then the MACD here is, there's no direction here on MACD right now. It's just silent. I don't really have direction. I do want to see this opening up to the upside. Stochastics are pointing to the upside right here, maybe a reversing trend. So this still needs a little bit more time, I think. I will not buy it here unless it breaks above 54, 55, and it holds with strength. I can play this name all the way towards. I can play this name all the way towards 55 to 61. So about a $3 move I can catch. Now remember, we're trading these stocks. So on these stocks, you're looking to catch $2 to $3 moves, which will double, triple your options depending on the time and strike that you buy. Okay. So for me, DKNG play will be above 54, 55. As soon as I see some more strength and I see, then I'll look at the market fundamentals, news, whatever is coming out. And according to that, I can play this name. All right. Let's look at a different ticker, analyze something else. Maybe let's look at Disney. I just thought of Disney just for the heck of it. Okay, so this is wow. Disney. Let's look at the weekly. The daily is too quiet. Okay, let's look at the weekly on Disney. Let's analyze this chart. Don't really like this chart, but we'll analyze it anyways. Now, Disney has been holding well, right? Earnings came out, there was a nice little spike, but for many weeks and months, it's just stuck in this one price closing, which is 177, 180, right? At least we know that there's demand here, but then there's sellers here. Buyers are not letting the stock price fall, right? So if you guys look here, right? I mean, if you guys just look right here, they're defending price. As soon as they bring it down, a lot of buyers step up and they buy it, but then the sellers come in and they sell it, right? So here, what we want to see is, where's the eraser? Okay, anyways, so on Disney, what I want to see is, I want this to close above this week's price, this week right here, which is around 180 something, I believe, right? And if it can close above 180, this what price is it? Let me see. Okay, so 180, 108, I believe, is the closing price on this candle, right? So 180, 108. So let's look at it. I want to inspect this chart. On the weekly, the closing price here is 180, 108. So if Disney can go above 180, 108 on the weekly close, that will just basically tell me, okay, buyers are taking control. It's stuck to the 8 and 21 EMA on the weekly, and above 180, 108, 181.08, a weekly close above that, I would like to play Disney all the way towards 187 or 190. I can catch the $5 move on the weekly candle. Okay, and then I obviously want to see some strength in RSI. The MACD is almost there. It's almost there. So if we look at the MACD, right? If we look at the MACD, it's almost there, right? Maybe in the next 2-3 weeks it sets up. It gives us a nice little curl up across, and we can probably play Disney to the upside. Okay, but I would wait until it closes above this week's price, so that it shows me strength that it beats all these previous weeks. Okay. All right, guys. So I hope the EMAs answer questions. The moving average, guys, I posted this 50 MA, 200 MA. There's a meaning to it, right? 50 MA is a short-term bounce, 200 MA is where the value is, 250 moving average is where investors really think the price is worth it, right? It's basically the previous day's average. The meaning of them I've posted in Discord many times. You can simply just go in the search bar, type in 20 MA, 50 MA, 200 MA, and you can find what those moving averages mean. And what else do we have here? Yes, Cody, I do look at the volume, right? Like today, I just went over, for example, just went over Baba, right? I do think this is a very nice look. The week just started. This is just Monday only, and the weekly volume has already taken above the average weekly volume, right? So let's put in ATR, average to range. So let's put the ATR. Right, Baba is about to become really volatile. Usually on the weekly, this is the average 15-point move. Earlier, it was giving us $21 moves on the weekly, and now, right, this might go up all the way towards 80 and 20. Volatility might increase in Baba by a lot. The MACD is extremely like near the bottom. I don't think it's ever been this low on Baba, right? And if we get the biggest green volume bar on Baba, that will probably mark a bottom, I think, in my opinion, right? Don't forget, Baba was trading at these levels in 2017. It's 4 years, and you're telling me Baba hasn't grown in the last 4 years? Oh yeah, the numbers have improved, record number of sales and whatnot. This is just the politics or the news that happened in China that it took it down. But let's see, right? At least I do see all the way towards 8 EMA, a nice little bounce towards 174, 175. So even if you catch a 10-point move here on Baba, you can make 100, 200% on your options. Yes, it's a risk. Any news come out, I mean, you know, anything can happen. And then the daily, I just went over just a little while ago. This is the most oversold it's ever been, right? And when is this oversold? Usually there's a nice little bounce forward, and the same thing can happen here, right? So the green, the buying volume took over the previous day's volume, and let's see if we can get a bounce towards 170, 175. All right, and short term it can pay a lot. Nice, Cody. What other questions do we have? Any other questions that you guys have? You guys can type in any ticker you guys want me to go over. For scalping intraday, CS, I just went over my tickers. I don't get too much into tickers, indicators, sorry, to be honest. Mainly I use MACD, the stochastics. ATR I'll look at sometimes just to see what's expected, right? The move, expected move. And I use my 8 and 21 EMAs. All right, and then other than that, I basically use levels. If a certain price level holds, you know, a stock can make a big move, right? And so that was that. Guys, please ask me some ticker symbols that you guys want to go over. Somebody asked regarding a watch list that we can go over. Stochastics is basically CS very basic. If it's near the top and it's curling down, that means depending on the time frame you're looking at, that the stock might stall. Like for example, here, right, it's very basic. I will not give no advanced technical definition. It's very simple, right? When they was holding here, it was pointed down, the black crossed over the red. You can see that the stock also made a move down. Okay. And then when the stochastics were oversold, right here at the bottom, the price held for some time, gave a nice little bounce. And then here, nothing happened on the stochastic, the stock also didn't move. And now it's at the bottom, right? And every time the stock was at the bottom, the stock gave us a nice little upside move. So now, even if the stochastic returned near halfway, you can expect a move towards 170 or 175. Okay. Papa Gunnar, thank you for posting this. I will just copy and post it in the chat right here. By the way, guys, if you don't know what Papa Ganoush is, it's a dish made from eggplants and with a naan bread. Right, that's what Papa Ganoush is. If you don't know what that is. But here's the EMAs. Okay, these are the EMAs, and then SMA is the moving average. EMA is exponential moving average. Okay. And guys, any tickers that you guys want me to go over, please tell me. Right, I answered a few questions which were asked by our members. And then regarding the fundamentals, I do want to go over that, but not tonight. That we will do next week, Monday or Tuesday. Facebook. Somebody asked regarding Facebook. I think Facebook looks great, right? Tech is strong. Google has been running the ads and so whatnot are very strong, right? And I think Facebook also has something to do with their Libra coin, something they want to announce. T knows a lot more about it if he wants to explain anything regarding that. But Facebook, as long as it holds above, okay, so let's go. I actually bought Facebook today, I think. I bought Facebook, right? Let me just confirm. Yes, I bought Facebook today. So Facebook, what play did I make today on Facebook? Let's just quickly go over it. That why did I play Facebook today? Now, Facebook, you know, I was just holding level and I saw momentum in tech, you know, market was looking strong. And I really thought Facebook can maybe, right? There are 4 more trading days left. And I was like, you know what, Facebook is the good chance that it might give us a move towards right here. Above 365. And so basically I bought and between 375, right? Maybe it makes a huge move or maybe it stalls here and it might give me a move around right here, around 366, 367, right? Maybe 366. So what play did I make? I did butterflies today. Right, let's just go over them. I bought the weekly butterflies. Now the 365 calls were going more than $3. And I said to myself, do I want to pay $3 for a 365 call? What if it just stalls here, goes sideways, it sticks at 365, 364, it comes to retest 360 maybe. These calls would lose a lot of value. So I was looking to pay only 1/3 for 365 zone. So what I did, I bought the 365 calls. I sold the 370 calls, and then I bought the 375 calls. The max profit here is 5 if it pins 370 by Friday. I'm not looking for max profits here. I'm just looking for Facebook to maybe stall here for some time and give me a 366, 367 touch throughout the week. And once I get that touch, I bought these for $1.05. And all my strategies, which I do, guys, your entry, you can get 5-10% lower than me always. The reason, because my broker is, I don't like my broker. I always end up paying a few percent extra. And sometimes just to get the fill, I hit 2-3 cents extra. Like I just do it. Okay. But you can always get a lower fill than me. So my cost was $1.05 for this. And now let's say Facebook closes at 367 by Friday, nothing happens. My butterflies will still be worth $2. Okay, which gives me 100% profit on my $1.05. And tomorrow, let's say Facebook ends up running. Let's say Facebook tomorrow ends up running at it gets 369-ish, for example. My butterflies value will easily be around $2 again. Okay, which leaves me with 100% profits. And let's say Facebook comes down to 360, for example, my butterflies will still hold value of maybe, I don't know, 0.60 cents or 70 cents, right? Why? Because I only paid $1 for it. And maybe by Thursday, Friday, Facebook comes and closes at 366. I can still break even on my butterflies. Okay. Butterflies cost even less than vertical spreads, by the way, if you guys want to know. Okay. And as long as it stays within this 10-point range to the upside, I can make a lot of money on Facebook. Now, if it takes above 375 and keeps running, which is highly unlikely, then obviously my butterflies will be out of the zone. But if it stays here in this range, I make good money on it. Okay. And Snow will go over. Snow. I think he played this last week and he nailed it. Right. Nice profits on it. Let me just remove my drawings. But on Snow, basically, so if you guys remember in pre-market, right, I remember going over Snow and I clearly gave this away. That is, Snow holds above these levels right here. As long as it holds above 270, you guys can cash. So on this day in pre-market, I told you guys, if it holds above 270, right, you guys can catch a move of $7 to $8 at least. And that day it gave a move of almost more than $12. On a stock like this, if you catch a $5 to $10 move or $5 to $7 move, you can easily make 100% on your options. Okay. Now here, Snow, it gave us the trade was over, it held above the value, ran more, gave up the gains, and then it flushed a lot towards 247, came back up above the 200 moving average on the daily, right? And right now it's just in a resistance zone. Here, there really isn't direction. There is no direction here. But however, if I zoom out, the stock's in a nice little uptrend. Okay, the stock has been in a nice little uptrend from these levels, from the lows of 184. The stock's been in a nice little uptrend, right? And right now, still this trend line is also acting as resistance. So if we can get about 281, 282 and hold, we can continue playing Snow to the upside. Okay, we can continue playing Snow to the upside if we can get a close above right here 280. So it's above this trend line, right, the uptrend line, and then 290 will be resistant. And if it takes over, now we can continue playing this to the upside. Okay, but buy time on this, because if 280 fails, then it can again come to 251 also. Know the downside levels, because that will help you control your position sizing. However, so 280 above hold is the key. So 280 above hold, you can play small, buy some time, and then ride the stock up on an uptrend. And then we have JMIA. JMIA, I bought JMIA last week with the Turkey. Our calls were up almost 100% from alert, right? I got in at 60 cents and they hit $1, so they were up 70% almost. I did not exit then because, I wanted to hold it for a longer run. I clearly didn't get it. Next day we had a hurricane and then we had no internet and then my JMIA dumped, right? I lost a lot of value on my calls. And now it's making a nice little biz. Apparently it's up after hours. I still need to know why, right? But I just thought that maybe we can get this level right here on my indicator that 20 is possible on JMIA. So if I go back on my stock charts, right, I'll analyze it here. So JMIA, I saw that it's been rejecting the 8 EMA. It's been rejecting the 8 EMA, and then the MACD wants to cross. Stochastics are down. 8 here is really low, so it needs to, I think, curl back up a little bit. And then I saw that maybe JMIA will get stuck between 8 and 21 EMA right here above 19 for this week. So as long as it's above 19, we get the move towards 20, I will still lock in close to 100% on my calls. However, if 19 fails, then I lose value on my calls. So for me, that play was very simple, just to get a zone near 20 bucks and lock in something above $1. Okay. So after market is trading nice. And then also if we go on the weekly, there's a lot of support right here. And then the weekly 80 EMA it needs to test is trading is at 21.15. So even if it goes on the weekly test at 21 EMA, those calls will be about $2. Okay. And it needs a little bounce right now. I think it's that good support. This is where it broke out from. And there's a good chance that the buyers can step up around these prices. Okay. Nvidia, can it go higher? Nvidia has been ripping, has been going higher. So Nvidia, guys, remember last year Tesla, even after split, it kept running like a retard. So Nvidia can do the same, obviously, right? It's just in a nice little uptrend. Our leaps are up huge. We are bought SB. Congrats if you're listening. Absolutely murdered the leaps. We bought them at 7,000. Now they're trading near 30,000, I think, right? So Nvidia about 208, 210 was the key, and now as long as if momentum holds, it can continue going up, obviously. But this is not where you want to cash the options because the IV is high. Options are priced very high here. Okay, why? Because it ran from 187 to 219. It's made a $33 move. There's a good chance it may rest or it may just continue going up, and then maybe you can play spreads. It can definitely continue going up. But the best way to play Nvidia right now will be buying the in the money spreads. As long as the levels are held, you'll make money. Calls alone, if you don't have a big account, avoid. If you have a big account, then you can take it. Okay. Don't worry about Gumball. This will be recorded, so you can watch it later. And then, no, I do not write covered calls yet, Luis. I do not have the account for that. I think if I want to do covered calls, I want to be able to buy thousands and thousands of shares of equity and then sell them. Okay. But we do have a Blitzkrieg who does them, I think. And you guys can definitely follow him for covered calls. I do bear call spreads though. On SPY today, for example, I did bear call spreads, right? Where I basically, so what I did was I sold the 440 August 30 calls and I bought the 449 August 30 calls for protection. And I was able to sell these for, I think, 51 cents. So basically, here tomorrow, if SPY takes a rest, for example, right? If SPY just takes a rest here, or maybe just consolidates here around 444, 445-ish, these will be going for 30 cents, and I'll simply just buy them back for 30 cents and collect this premium. And if SPY rips, for example, if SPY happens to rip towards 450, 450 is psychological. Maybe in the day or a day after, we might see a 447 move then again, 447. And then by then there will be a lot of time decay in these calls, and then I can probably still cover these at 30 cents. So I bought time. My maximum loss here is 49 more cents out of my pocket. If SPY just holds above 449, I don't exit until the last day. Okay, but I do think that we test 447, even if it rips tomorrow. I think 447 test will be likely in the coming days, and then I can simply cover there for profits. I just got a great value for these, so I sold. Okay. Iron Condor, that's yes, if the stock's going sideways or if it's not making big moves, Iron Condor is definitely the way to play a stock, right? Iron Condor you do when you buy two ranges, right? Just an example, I'll quickly go over, for example, Nvidia, just back to Nvidia. So if I think that during the week, you know, Nvidia is going to close about 230, 235, or either there's going to be a big dump, for example, in this range. So you basically buy the put spreads to the downside and you buy the call spread to the upside, and you hope that the Nvidia crosses one of these sides, and then you can play it both ways. Another way, if you think Nvidia does not go higher or does not go lower, you can sell the iron condors. When you sell, you receive credit. So as long as Nvidia stays in this range, whatever the iron condors are going with, you keep that credit to yourself. So you're selling the calls and you're selling the puts. But if you think it's going to make a huge move, it goes out of the range, then you buy the iron condor. Okay. So you buy if you think it's going to make a huge move to the one side, you know, and then you close it for max profits. You sell iron condors if you think Nvidia stays in this range, and then you can sell them out of the range. Okay. Straddle options. The nudge is basically, you know, when we buy a put in a call option of the same expiry, right? So for example, if I'm playing PLTR, just an example. I will buy the dirty chart. Maybe let's say just example DKNG, just because I don't have any drawings on this chart. So if I think that DKNG is going to make a huge move, and you know, I think calls will more than double or triple, that's when you do straddles. So I will buy the 20. So the current price is 21.36. So I would buy a 2136 call and a 2136 put. These are probably increments of 5. So 2135 calls and then 2135 puts. Okay. And then the stock has to make a big move to one side, or the options have to more than double for you to make profit. Okay. Straddles work great on Thursdays because on Friday, if there's a huge move, many times SPY options go 300-400% almost every day. So you can do, there's a straddle and then there's called a strangle. Strangle is when you buy a different call option to the upside and a different put side to the downside when you're expecting a big move. Okay. And you can make a lot of money on those. All right. All right, guys. So I think the rest of the topics regarding fundamentals we'll go over next Monday and Tuesday. We'll keep this short. It's a 50-minute recorded session now, right? So it's easier for people to watch, and you guys can rewatch it if you wish and you thought the information was valuable, right? We always go over pre and post market, right? Post market LB does. I do my pre-market, right? And both of us give you guys a lot of information. Right, there's some more information I do want to cover, but next week, so that you guys can process what I went in today. Right, out of this entire session, I think one of the most important was the starting, the options, reading the tape. Right, when heavy volume of options come in, you just zoom into the 5-minute chart. I mean, if somebody is throwing millions of dollars there on the weeklies, there has to be a reason, right? And it's usually backed up by equity buyers as well. So you guys can catch moves like that. Okay. So I hope this helped. Thank you for attending, and God bless, and we'll see you guys in pre-market with some more information. Let's see what happens. God bless.